Hello there. Welcome to my leather shop. My name is George Hurst. In this program, we're going to show you how to make bucking rolls for your saddle. The basis for our bucking rolls in this program will come from the Horse Tack Accessory Pattern Pack. In this pattern pack, you will find instructions on how to construct the bucking rolls, as well as cutting patterns to cut all the parts. Based on the patterns, now you'll see that I have made some cutting templates because we'll be cutting both left and right pieces. I have marked them right on one side and left on the other side. So we'll begin now to do our cutting. We will start first by using an awl to mark the cutting lines on our first part. This is actually what we call the top part. We will cut two of these, one for the right side and one for the left side. So then we will, to make the one for the left side, we'll just flip it. And we will trace for the left side. We'll also mark for the hole for punching. And next we will do the same thing. We will trace around the outside of the back piece. In this case, we will not mark the hole. Even though it shows that on the pattern, we will punch those at the same time, so it's not necessary to mark the hole for the backside. It is necessary to trace this slot. This will be the slot where we actually put the filler into the bucking rolls. So now we'll do the same thing, flip this over and make one for the other side. And now, with a good sharp knife, we will carefully cut all of our parts. In the bottom part, we also have this line to cut. I'll call the trap door. This is where we will put the filler into the bulbs of the bucking rolls. We've got to make sure this is cut all the way through from one end to the other. And now we will cut the top parts out. Very carefully. If I didn't tell you before, these parts are cut out of skirting leather, which is, as a rule, 11 ounces or heavier. On this top part, there is a cutout that we'll make for the bulb to come through. I would suggest, if you're going to tool this, that you tool it first before you cut out the inner part, in order to minimize the amount of stretch you get from the tooling. The bulb part of the bucking rolls will be cut from a soft leather like shap leather, and so we'll need to cut 4 of those pieces, 2 for the left, 2 for the right. Now notice I'm doing this with an ink pen, and I'm doing it on the back. Flip it and do one for the other side. And flip it again. And another flip. You'll notice a dotted line on this pattern. We'll use that later for a glue. You'll notice you will notice a dotted line on this pattern. We'll use that later to indicate where we will put our cement. For this soft leather, I prefer to cut with the shears. A knife works well, but I just like the shears. I'm going to cut this line where our cutout will be with a swivel knife. I'm doing that for 2 reasons. One, it'll make it easier and more accurate to make our cutout after I've done my tooling, and it will also help me have a good guideline to do my tooling, because we will have a stitch line here and a stitch line over here, so it'll be a little bit narrow, and this will help me position it properly. I'm going to stay about 1/4 of an inch away from that cut to do my stamping, so that I have plenty of space for my stitch line. To make the pads, the pockets for the pads, we'll take some fine sandpaper and sand about 1/8 of an inch off the edge, as you can see me doing here, and we'll do this to both parts that we will then cement together. But the first thing we have to do is rough up these edges so that the cement will stick. About 1/8 of an inch. Next, we will apply a line of cement with a fine brush. I like to use an inexpensive brush, and we will apply cement to this same area. And we'll do it to all the pieces. We'll set it aside then to let it dry until it gets tacky. Now that we have allowed the cement to become tacky, we can cement the two pieces together. As you can see now, keep in mind we have not put any cement down in the lower end, only along the top. Now we'll do that to the other piece as well. Next, I will take my wing dividers and set it to 1/8 of an inch wide, and I will mark a stitch line, as you can see. Then I will take the angled stitching punch, and I will punch right on that line. All the way around. Using about 48 inches of thread, I will sew all the way around the area there where we cemented the pieces together.